Welcome to the Beliefs Bazaar. My name is Alex. This episode is going to be just some commentary on some things that are happening right now. The date is April 9th, 2025. And I think in this specific video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the vandalism aimed at Tesla and what I think as a progressive person about that. And so, typically I don't plan to do a whole lot of reaction videos. However, sometimes I think they might be useful in the context of beliefs, which is what I want to focus on this channel. So certainly there are a lot of other response type videos and, they'll show you some clips of what's happening. I'm not a professional. This is just a hobby for me. I'm just fucking around trying to put content out there, so there's just more progressive content. Also, I'm hoping that people find this channel because I'm not involved with any of what would be considered a network of any capacity, be it progressive or otherwise. And so I just feel that there should be more progressive voices on the internet because there's certainly a lot of conservative ones. So that's whatever. For these videos, these reaction videos, I'm kind of just fucking around. So, I'm going to continue taking a shot at tequila like I've been doing most of the evening. And I might even hit my vape pen a couple times. So, getting kind of loose with this one. My kitty needs to be fed, so I might do that too. Ooh, that's tequila. All right, I'm gonna feed my cat. I'm gonna cut out the gap, so I will be right back. Poof, I'm back. All right. What was I even talking about? Shit. Oh, right, burning the fucking cars. My God. There's been a lot of vandalism, I guess, towards Tesla recently. And as a progressive, if you've been watching any progressive content, you will have heard this before, but that is fucking dumb. I condemn the violence and vandalism. That is not productive. I do promote and advocate for peaceful, non-violent, non-vandalizing protesting. Speak your mind. That's freedom of speech. We have that right. We have that, in some cases, obligation to speak our mind and let the people in power know how we feel about their decisions and their governance, right? Where I think this is a huge mistake to do so is to specifically in this current. Okay, so we're talking about specifically. I was talking about generally. I don't believe in violence as a means of political activism. It's just not productive. Okay, specifically, we're talking about Tesla and the response to Elon Musk and his antics with the Trump administration and people, damaging Teslas either on the lot or the lot that sells them or chargers or some other infrastructure, or even people that already own the cars are being damaged and stuff. That is fucking stupid. Okay, I want to straight up repeat myself and say that any well-meaning progressive will condemn this activity. And for a very simple reason, that progressive politics is anti-violence, right? We will respond to violence with appropriate response, but it is not our position to instigate or carry out this thing. Now, I understand why some people might think that that's a reasonable thing to do, because it's harder to see But when these rich people, whether it be Elon Musk and the way he manages his companies, or Elon Musk and the way he's influencing the government, or, you know, anybody involved with any policy and stuff, they're sufficiently separated from their decisions so that when they push a button or sign a thing or make a decision, they're not directly or immediately causing death and destruction, but it happens. So that's what's happening now. Elon Musk and the people that he works with in the government are doing things, making decisions, changing policy, changing funding, changing all these things in such a way that they're having real impact on the people downstream from those decisions. And in many cases, it's going to result in deaths, because when you cut off people's resources, when they depend on them, especially, you know, life-saving, medical, all these things, you know, and you know, research into new treatments, therapies, you know, there's a lot. And I realize not every example is going to have a death toll, but it's going to have a price in the prosperity of people. And those people, when pushed hard enough, feel they have no other recourse. They have no way to impact policy, but they do have a way to impact Elon Musk, and that is to demonstrate their dissatisfaction by vandalizing or otherwise, right? That's not a decision that most of us will support. In fact, I don't. And most of us will condemn it. But we at least understand the position that these people are coming from. Okay, and that is an empathy that, you know, many on the right just refuse to have. Or maybe they're incapable, or maybe, I mean, I don't know. I honestly I haven't seen a lot of social media stuff besides people involved in the administration or Musk zealots or whatever, you know, actually saying that this is unwarranted. You know, I still don't think that response is unwarranted. You can do more by just not buying the vehicles. You can do more by informing people why they shouldn't buy the vehicles, which I'm not even really going to get into now, but I don't support his fascist tendencies. If I had the money, I would, you know, I think Teslas look cool. I mean, you know, this is what's stupid about, this is what's annoying and what's fucking really obnoxious about this whole situation is that Teslas are cool, man. They're fucking, you know, they made some innovation as a company, and, you know, you can debate how much influence Elon Musk actually had in these decisions, but these are, you know, his team of engineers, they created a cool fucking product, man. They made headway on batteries, you know, electric batteries, vehicles, like the drivetrain, they look cool. There's many advancements that were made by this company. It's just now their CEO is involved in decisions that are having devastating impact to Americans across the country. He's an immigrant himself, which is fine with me. He's just having an impact on people's lives that is too much. You know, no one should have that much influence, really. And that's, you know, part of the problem that progressives, myself included, complain about is kind of the power structure. It shouldn't be this top-down winner takes all thing where between every 4 years the next person comes in and, you know, their first mission is to undo the shit that the previous administration did. I mean, what the fuck are we doing? That's so short-sighted and so fucking childish. I don't know if I can say much about it without just, you know, I'm not immune from it too. I feel, you know, passionate about this, and I don't have much better tools than to fucking name call people, you know, call them pieces of shit. You know, I'm not gonna sit there and, you know, comment on their physical appearance or call them ugly or fucking fat or any of those things, because that's irrelevant. I don't care. You could be ugly and fat as fuck, and as long as you're not hurting Americans' lives fucking up their family livelihood, do whatever, dude. That's fine. I'm not, it's whatever, you know. And you know, when people are insulting about characteristics and stuff like that, it's because they have no other they have no other way to express their dissatisfaction. Because just saying that we don't like this policy decision or the way that they're responding to a thing, or just their support of, you know, a certain group that might have been a problem in the 30s, you know, supporting of the modern iteration of that group. You know, it's whatever, as long as you're not impacting people's lives who disagree with you because they disagree with you. That's fucked up. And, you know, I do not condone or support the things that people are doing in the context of vandalism and destruction of property and those things. You know, it'll be, you know, honestly, you're helping. If you burn or destroy a vehicle, they get money because you destroyed a thing, and that's covered by insurance. The better thing to do would just be not to buy it at all. You know, tell people why they shouldn't support a company whose CEO is devastating people's lives and potentially going to attack their Social Security or their health care. Those are reasons not to buy the thing. Don't go demolish it or devastate it. That could put you in jail and give them money because they just get insurance money from it. That car they didn't sell, but now they get paid for it because someone destroyed it. A better thing to do would just let that car sit there and not be sold. Then they have inventory that they haven't sold, and they get nothing. They get nothing from it. Not even a news story about how, we're so victimized by these crazy fucking, you know, liberals that just want to demolish everything. You know, everything we love, they want to destroy. You know, that whole fucking... Give me a break, dude. You're fucking lame, and people don't want to buy your cars anymore. That should be it, you know? People that want to react violently, I understand. I understand your feelings, and that you have no other means to express yourself, and, you know, you have no other direct way to talk shit or say fuck you to these people that are fucking you over. But I'll tell you right now that the best solution is to just not expose yourself, not do anything that could bring your own, like, success to an end by a jail sentence, or even just, you know, in the future, knowing that you responded poorly in a way that you wouldn't have done otherwise, except for in this moment that you were so upset and so angered and just so, like, baffled by the fucking incompetence and the direct, like, oppression of the working class. Those are things to get angry about, but they're not things to do what they can, you know, now they can point to that and be like, see how unreasonable these people are, see what they'll fucking do if given the opportunity. We cannot give them that opportunity to say that, okay? I just attended one of, you know, if I didn't mention earlier in this video, it's the 9th of April, 2025. I just, over the last weekend, the 5th of April, attended one of the biggest rallies worldwide in as far as in terms of number of people. Across the country, 1,400 plus locations across the country, multiple other locations across the world, protested this administration peacefully. There was no damage, there was no vandalism, there was no violence. We all got together and showed solidarity with our fellow Americans. And that is the way we need to do things. Not demolishing, not giving them a reason to point at us and say, hey, they're the unreasonable ones. We need to come together and act in a way that actually will lead to the progress that we want to happen. All right, we cannot give ammunition to the oppressors to say that we need to be oppressed. We cannot give them reasons to point to say, we're actually right. Look at these people. Look at these heathens who can't do anything but respond violently. No, that is what they do. They're the violent ones. So we need to just unite and show some solidarity, because that is the strongest weapon we have, is each other. Thank you for watching this video.